One More Podcast, episode 6, your new regular video game podcast from One More Go Gaming. This is Jack Nedley Thompson. I am Christian Lasham. It's E3.
Technically,
E3.
well, Nintendo is still today.
And the show floor.
Yeah,
still
good
going.
point.
And this is our
Hopefully we see more from show floor.
E3 episode of One More Podcast.
It is, we got so much here.
So much to do. There are 3 more videos already up on One More Go's channel where me and 3 extra hosts from One More Go community member discuss what we loved and hated of each conference and break down what happened. But we are now going to go into the nitty gritty.
We are going to see the crabs in the bush.
We are. And
of E3 is what we're going to do.
Get yourself comfortable, get yourself some snacks, have a podcast-a-thon with us because we are going to be here for a while talking about many different things. This is going to be a long episode.
Which upsets me for 2 reasons.
One, you're tired.
We're in England, so E3 ends at 4 in the fucking morning.
Every night.
Every night, so... And also the day before I was trashed until like 4 in the morning for my birthday. It's my fault, but I aged, so... and also... It's really hot.
It's warm?
It's really warm.
That's because I've just filmed another video for an hour with these lights on. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just generally warm.
Yeah.
And we're drinking tea.
And I left this heater on. So I had this heater on here for about half hour earlier today. I don't know why it was on. I could feel it getting warmer here. I could feel it radiating through my back. And I realised this good old radiator here. So, yeah. Set that off. It's been hard work for me too, I've been up before I am and I've been filming videos every day. Editing, uploading, all in one go. It's hard work.
I suggested just doing the podcast, so that's your fault.
I know, but I wanted to make content.
Oh, no, I agree.
Feeling creative.
I agree in the whole.
Creative.
I agree on the whole.
You can join our conversation on Discord at One More Go Gaming, on Twitter at One More Go Gaming, on Instagram at One More Go Gaming, or right here on YouTube where you can hit that subscribe button and see us anytime that you wish.
Indeed.
I'm enjoying these new catchphrases.
Yeah, everyone's been stealing my... I don't know how I feel about it. I know it's by request to keep the flow going.
Yeah, it's
but it's
respect. It's respect though. Yeah, it's
damn straight.
Flattery is not flattery is the highest form of imitation. That is not the phrase. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
There you go.
I'm sleep
I thought you were going to say like flattery is the lowest form of wit or something. I'm like, that's sarcasm. But also, no, it isn't. Sarcasm is the greatest thing.
It is the greatest form of wit. Because normally, if you find someone stupid enough, they don't understand that they are being outwitted.
Exactly.
Best. It is the best. Where do we start, Jack? We're not going to do a new segment really this week because of everything is news.
The Inkinder thing is...
Everything
The Inkinder?
It's alright. It's fine, Jack. It's fine,
The entire thing is kind of just news for the most part, isn't it?
Yep.
Should we just go in order?
We can do.
Or do we want to start... Do we want to start low, get better?
I think...
Or do we want to start decent, start good... and get to the nitty-gritty day-old shit.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff we need to talk about. Obviously, a big rundown has been kind of done anyway. I know you haven't been involved, so we will keep you involved. But I don't want to repeat anything too much, so I just want to be careful with repeating.
Not a rundown, just what we thought of each thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. In which case, I think maybe going in order is a better idea. Because it doesn't really matter, it's all shit anyway.
For the most part, yeah.
But I do what I want to talk about is not so much what was there, but what wasn't. I want that to be a big thing in this conversation.
Because that was kind of my entire opinion of this.
And we do also need to go through our prediction results.
We do.
So Dom unfortunately can't join us because he is very, very heavily working over this week.
Therefore, he's out, I win.
So... maybe. How do you want to run down? Should we do that first? Should we run through?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Go first.
I've got my notebook. This is unprofessional. Yeah. So far away. Let's run down that. Should we do these in order? Oh! I know how we should do it.
Do our predictions as we talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where the book is. Stall, Jack!
Cotton Eye Joe, I'd have been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Oh, he's back.
I got it. Okay. So, EA kicked off. Right?
Poorly.
Very, very poorly. Very, very poor. Where is it in my damn book? Here it is. EA kicked off with a conference of sorts that was...
Guess you could call it that.
Poor in every sense of the word.
badly
paced, badly presented, bad content.
Yep.
Everything that could be bad about a conference.
My main thing about EA, the fact that I didn't really care about anything. The Star Wars game, which could have gotten me a point, they didn't say 2 words, which I'm guaranteed it is. I'm certain
single player.
It is single player, but they didn't say it, so I didn't get a point.
Though, so it's going to have a heavy multiplayer segment, I feel.
Doesn't sound like it, though. They're talking the way he describes it, obviously...
he did imply a story. Very heavily implied a story.
Yeah.
Campaign, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
What was your problem or did you have a problem with that Respawn reveal? I had big problems with that Respawn reveal.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Full stop.
They didn't show anything.
You don't even have a goddamn title card. You'll just say, oh, this game's coming.
Exactly.
It's as pointless as the Pokemon thing was.
And they did it from the audience.
Yeah.
And
like, clearly...
And the thing is, they said that Respawn were making a Star Wars game last year and showed us more of it. I know it was only a mocap behind-the-scenes shot.
Yeah, and like concept art, was it?
But still, that's more than what you showed in your actual reveal.
Just an old man in a hat saying words.
If your game is so unclose to being ready, you've got nothing to show about it, it should not be taking any time in an E3 press conference.
No, but...
Not the stage for it. Which, by the way, is a phrase that I'm going to be saying a lot today. E3 is not the stage for it.
Yeah, so that was stupid. But my main thing was... We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. The utter atrocity that was the Battlefield 5 reveal event.
Yes.
They said more coming at E3.
Yes.
So we get to the EA press conference and we think this is where we're going to finally learn a lot of stuff about Battlefield 5.
Yes.
They showed bits.
Yes.
But they showed more off conference with IGN and then explained it. They also then said to see more of this in reference to multiplayer... Join us at the Microsoft press conference later on.
No, it wasn't reference to multiplayer. It was reference to War Stories. They said it was War Stories.
Oh, did they say it was War Stories?
Yeah, they did say it was War Stories.
But even then, all they showed was a CG trailer.
Which we'd already seen. Which is a little bit longer.
Yeah, we'd already seen that trailer. And also, we didn't learn more about War Stories. We just learned that woman goes underwater.
Yeah.
Woo!
I predicted that Battlefield 5 would open the show with an extended multiplayer gameplay. It would be released in November 2018. It would be set in the Cold War. Now, both the release date and the setting was proven wrong at their reveal event. Mm-hmm. There was no gameplay demo.
Not on stage, no.
But there was Battlefield 5 opening the show.
Yes.
So that gets me 0.25 of a point.
Yes.
Take that where I can get it. Jack, though, you predicted that Battlefield 5 would have no Battle Royale.
I literally screamed. Like, it was like... I watched it late because I was busy in the day, so I watched it later on. I had many beverages. And I just heard the word Royale. I just screamed like, fuck, from the top of my lungs.
Please stop.
And texted you immediately,
yes, you
just
did.
Big capital fuck. I was so annoyed. Why?
I understand why.
Oh no, obviously I do understand
and
why.
And I'm interested to see how it works. The thing is, though, now that everyone has a Battle Royale mode, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. But
it's not exciting anymore.
It's also
when everyone's got it, it's not exciting.
It's also the kind of thing... Call of Duty did the same thing, where they mentioned that... Well, Call of Duty went into more detail describing it, but these are the new parts of the game. The current trend that people want to see. These are the bits you should be showing off.
Yeah.
We know what COD multiplayer is.
Yep.
We know what Conquest is.
Yep. We know what Battlefield looks like.
We know what... Yeah. Conquest hasn't changed.
Nope. And won't and shouldn't.
Yeah.
It still shows...
Actually, it did change from Battlefield 1. I didn't pay any attention to whether...
They haven't showed us the fortifications yet, either.
Yes, they have.
Did they?
IGN had it.
Oh, okay. I missed all of that.
Yeah.
You can catch me up in a minute.
Yeah, so IGN had it. It's very... I'll do it in a minute. Show us the Battle Royale mode. Why it's different. Why we should go for this one or the other one. Because I think the differences in the Battle Royale would sway people to one or the other. I know people have their preferences, but there are also a lot of people in the middle. Just like, which one do I get this year? I want a multiplayer shooter, but which one this year is better? And if they showed off the Battle Royale mode, by the sounds of it, Call of Duty's going to be better, but then again, Battlefield haven't said anything. They've just said it's called Royale, so they didn't even name it properly. At least Call of Duty gave it a name. Yeah, it was just, I just don't understand why that happened. Like, fucking it, good lord.
Professionally phoned. Continue. I'm not going to answer it. Should I answer it? No, I'm not going to answer it.
Don't answer it. We're not popular enough to get away with that yet.
No, definitely not. It's not like it's a gaming celebrity or anything like that either. So.
No, so yeah, Battlefield is their flagship title for this year. Obviously, they have FIFA as well, but
who cares?
They went into so much detail about FIFA.
Yep. Well, actually, no. I think they did FIFA fairly well. It went on a bit too long.
It went on too well.
They didn't do the thing they normally do with FIFA, which is showing you loads of crap about the same game. They came out and went, we have a new license. We have the Champions League license, which is a big shout for them, to be fair. And that will be included in the game and in the journey mode. But that's all they needed to do.
Yeah, they kept going. Spent too much time on the stuff that was already out for FIFA 18.
They started with FIFA 18. That's out.
Yeah, that is another theme of E3 this year. This thing is already out. Stop talking about it. Other than the ones that like had a new edition or it's coming out somewhere else or something like that.
Is that my girlfriend asking you out for lunch? Because that's what she's just done for me.
Oh no, it was Domino's asking me out for lunch.
That's my girlfriend.
So just, and then like, so FIFA I think was done reasonably well. They didn't need to talk about FIFA 18 for that long. I understand why it gets such a big segment. It's obviously a huge money maker for them. But other than that, what was there?
Nothing.
Unraveled 2.
Shadow drop, little stealth reveal, which is nice, but that was the only thing that had a gameplay demo.
Yep.
Which is madness. Why is that your gameplay demo when you've got something like Battlefield 5, which people want to see? Battlefront 2, they came out and spoke about that and apologised for their mistake.
Yeah, and
too little too late for me. 100%. I wanted the Clone Wars stuff from the beginning, because
all this stuff should have been in Battlefront 1.
Yes, I'm a minority. I am a big Star Wars fan who doesn't have a huge problem with the prequel content. Like, the films weren't good, but I don't have a big problem with the prequels to the point where I'm going to pretend they don't exist. There's still characters in there I like. Mm-hmm. There's still awesome fight scenes in there. There's still a style that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Part of it's nostalgia. But I've wanted that from the beginning. And I wanted the Clone Wars. And I want to play as Anakin. I want to play as Obi-Wan.
How are we 8 months into the second Battlefront game and we've only just got Obi-Wan?
And we're still not getting it properly. We still had more in the PS2 Battlefront 2 than what we do now.
Yeah, 100%.
They had everyone in it. Why do we still not have everyone? Why don't we have everyone? That would be make the ultimate Star Wars Battlefront game. Give me every hero. Give me every droid. Give me all the classes. Give me the customization. Give me the planets. Give me the worlds. Give me the space battles. Give me the transferable planet to spaceships.
I remember one of the things, like they said, there was no like aesthetic character customization, and I think their exact quote was because nobody wants to see a pink Darth Vader running around. And my immediate response was, "Yes, I really do."
That doesn't bother me so much.
No, it doesn't bother me, but it was just
I would like to see a pink Darth Vader.
Exactly.
But I don't understand what, and it's not a technical thing. Don't give me that bollocks. There are games out there, which some of them we'll get to later on today, that are blowing the waters with some of the technical achievements. You can do planet to space battle in a single fucking match. You can do it.
No Man's Sky did it.
Yeah, like...
And that game was dog.
So, don't get me started on Star Wars.
At launch, I haven't played it since.
One thing about Battlefront, though, I will hand it to them for admitting they made a mistake. They came out and they said that we didn't do it right.
Pretty sure that's because Disney told them to.
Probably, but... fair play to him to coming out saying we did make a mistake and we are working on it. And have you played Battlefront 2 recently?
No.
The new progression system works much better. The games feel far more balanced. It feels like how it should have been, but that's the problem. It feels like how it should have been. It's
working at all would be much better because the new progression system, the old progression system, was literally just you got to level up out of a loot box.
Yeah.
What the shit?
So now you have a proper level up system based on experience points earned in game and then obviously challenges as well. Plus, much like a lot of these things now, level up system for the different weapons and your classes, and each class has its own level as well. All fine because they're then under different perks with them. Each hero has a level system too, which I actually also quite like because then you can make your heroes a little bit better, a little bit different, and customize their movesets and things as well. The only thing you can now buy in loot boxes is cosmetic items. Everything else is all earned from challenge challenges. So.
See, that's much better, and it's really disappointing that wasn't it from the game.
From the get-go.
From the get-go, yeah. Thank you, because the multiplayer gameplay was solid.
Yeah.
It was great. I had a lot of fun.
It's Dice now to make a multiplayer shooter. So.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun playing that game, but it was just too many issues in terms of the loot box system and the leveling system being linked and all sorts of nonsense.
They waffled too much about other sports games, though. They brought out the Madden esports players, which I thought was weird. They don't need to be, and they didn't seem comfortable on the stage.
No.
I don't care about esports. E3 is not the place for esports, if you ask me. Know your audience.
That will come up again later.
Yep. Mobile gaming
does not belong at E3. Especially
with an extended gameplay demo with shoutcasters. What was that about? That went on for ages, and then it was another stealth release, and Command and Conquer. Just put a little trailer up to say Command and Conquer's out today. That's what you need to do.
And it's a mobile game.
Exactly like Bethesda did in their conference with Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
Fallout Shelter's out. There you go. Move on.
They didn't even show a trailer. They just told you.
Yep. That's all I need.
Because that game was announced nearly 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Though, Anthem was the big one they put a lot of time into. How do you feel they handled Anthem?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was...
So
that was the one with the really annoying people, wasn't it?
They showed a trailer, and then Andrea Rene sat down with a panel, and they spoke about the development process, and then they showed some gameplay.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the gameplay was clearly
the panel didn't need to happen.
The panel didn't need to happen. Panel comes in post-show.
Gameplay looks cool.
Gameplay looks cool. Game looks interesting.
Yep.
Destiny clone, but potentially...
Yeah, but I think because BioWare know how to make that sort of game...
I'm not saying this is a bad thing, purely objectively. It is a Destiny clone.
Yeah,
even the classes were very much Destiny clones. But I think that's potentially a good thing because Destiny has a lot of problems. Good game with some problems. If they fix those problems, and from what we've seen, it looks like they might actually fix some of the problems from Destiny.
Yeah, I think Anthem has the potential to be better than Destiny.
I completely agree. But I'm also aware it's a BioWare game, so it could go either way.
Yeah, but that was just Andromeda.
I know.
That was just Andromeda. Everything else has been...
True.
Quality, like, of the physical made game. Obviously, take what you will on whether you like the game or not. Like, a lot of people don't like Dragon Age 2. Mm-hmm. A lot of people hate Mass Effect 3 because of the last 30 seconds of the game, which I think is a stupid opinion, but...
I haven't played them.
You've heard, obviously, that everyone hates the ending of Mass Effect 3, therefore it's a shit game. It's like... No, it's a good game with a bad ending.
I don't particularly like people that feel the need to judge the quality of a creative content based off that they didn't like the way the story went.
There's that as well.
That always annoys me. Things. Oh, you didn't like the events that took place. Tough shit. It's not really for you to decide. Like that's the story. Like I've always found that weird. Like this is a different argument, but just as an example. And I know actually something you mentioned the other night, Star Wars Episode 8.
Last night, yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people complained that about the storyline but that wouldn't happen. Which do you mean it wouldn't happen? It's not your story. It did happen.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like that.
Arguments that
I think it's a piss poor story and a piss poor movie.
But that's fine because then you can critically say why the story is piss poor. But to say that just like
I don't have any of the that wouldn't happen opinions. You're just like
irritates me. I know you don't. I know you're above these things.
And it's always just like, did you write it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's always just like, this game isn't Call of Duty.
Yes, it is.
Well, it fucking is. It's called Call of Duty. What they decide is Call of Duty now is Call of Duty now. That's not you.
Also, another topic for a little bit later on.
Call of Duty?
Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed. Anyway, Anthem.
I see.
Poor conference. That's the main thing. Poor conference. Badly presented and nothing to get me excited. And what they did show, they barely showed. So,
yeah. We also haven't talked about any of our other predictions for you.
So I predicted the Battlefield 5 thing, got half a point. No Battle Royale for you. So, which there was Battle Royale, so no point. Dom said they'll show Anthem, so you get a point for that. I said there'll be 2 new Star Wars games, one of which should be the rumoured open world game, but that didn't happen.
None.
There was 1 new Star Wars game, but we didn't really see it. You said there would be a single player only Star Wars game, but they did not confirm.
So close. They didn't say single player,
we have had people, by the way, we haven't scored these. We have had people score these with us and have agreed on these scores.
Many discussions have been had about some of them.
Yeah. Dom said FIFA would focus on facial animations. Not at all. I said at least one of the major franchises will have a Battle Royale mode. So it gets me a point for Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Dom then said that Battlefield 5 would be set in modern day. Incorrect. I said Skate 4 would be announced. It was not. You said Skate 3 Remastered would be announced. It was not.
We were both so close.
So close. And Dom said there would be no NBA game. There was.
Was it?
Yep. There's a trailer for NBA.
Oh.
Which means at the end of EA's conference, Jack and Dom were sharing 1 point each, and I had 1.25 points. So I was very much in the lead. But a poor showing.
Yes, a very poor showing.
Very poor showing, and nothing that's got me excited. It really is not actually that much to say about it, because it was poor.
Yeah, there really isn't anything to go in depth about with EA. Like, there's nothing.
It was EA. Yes, what EA conferences always are. But I just
They're usually better.
It's just a shame they haven't learned yet. I thought like they were learning by bringing out Andrea Rene to host it, who I think she did a good job for the time she was there.
She did all right for what she was given, but what she was given was
to work with,
trash.
So.
And there's always those. I was hoping she wouldn't fall for those really awkward conference jokes.
Yeah.
Where you kind of say something that you wouldn't have picked up as a joke if you just carried on saying, but you stop.
You stop and
pause. Wait for people to react. And now everyone's like, oh,
never works.
Fuck off.
Microsoft's conference, though, the next day. Now, this is a mixed one.
It's a bit better.
My opinion on this is the conference itself, so as a structured press reveal, was very strong.
The presentation was high.
Yeah.
High in quality.
Content, though.
Garbage.
Absolute balls.
Well, there are a couple of bits where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to need an Xbox now. Balls
For the reason because of Microsoft needed to be doing a certain thing. Microsoft needed to be...
Games.
Which they did, but it needed to be a game to make you go, oh shit, that's why I should have an Xbox.
Yeah, so they needed big AAA exclusives. They were just like, oh, we've got 50 games announced. 6, I think. Come back to that later. I think. If you've worked it out as something else, inform me and we will deduct a point from me retroactively. But it doesn't matter because I haven't won.
Spoil the ending.
I've already said it. But yeah, none of them were. They're all
44 of the 50 games weren't technically exclusives. It said there were going to be 50 games, 15 exclusives.
And even like, two of those 6 were console launch exclusives, and they aren't out on anything else yet. But yeah. And
the big exclusives they had were the same ones they always have: Forza, Halo, and Gears.
And there was a fourth one.
No, before they don't have any others. Sea of Thieves.
No, there was a fourth one. Because there were only 2 others.
No, I'm talking about their big ones though.
Oh, sorry.
They're the big one. The big ones they have because. These games aren't for me, but you can't deny the quality of Gears and Halo.
I love Gears and Halo.
Yeah. But that's still all they've got.
Yep.
It's still all you've got, Microsoft. You've got nothing else.
Since 2006.
You've got nothing.
That's all they've had.
Sony are going, new IP. Everyone being mind-blowing and increasingly getting better.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Even the stealth reveals that you'd never heard of before. Yes. Sony are pretty great. Sorry, I forgot what it was called.
But I just feel they're missing the mark. And then the thing that... this is a topic I want to talk about today. And I know we're going to have a clash here. And we'll come back to it in more detail a bit later on. The fact that Phil Spencer said at the end of the conference, we are working on the new Xbox consoles.
I don't think that means much.
I just think it's a very mixed, strange message from Microsoft. Microsoft came out at the beginning of that conference saying, we've got 50 games to show you. They are basically saying, we know that you know we don't have any games. So we're going to bring you the games so that this is what you should be on Xbox for. And they kept saying, we are showing you why Xbox is the best place to play. They said that like 8 times. They were wrong. But they said that so many times. But then at the end of the conference went, we are also making new consoles. What? I'm not going to buy an Xbox then. You haven't shown me any game here that's really making me buy an Xbox. And you've just told me you're now working on your next one, which will be soon. So what are they doing to really pull people over and make people come to them and buy their console? I'd argue nothing.
Yeah. So my thing was, Sony said that about a year ago.
Yes, but they didn't say it on an E3 stage.
No, they didn't say it on an E3 stage.
But that means a lot, though. I feel like
it's Microsoft, so I don't think it means shit. I think it's just Phil Spencer knows that his conference was trash and needed to say something.
Was there any highlights for you for that conference? I did have a couple of highlights.
Gears Pop?
Todd Howard. I just love that man.
Yeah, no, but he didn't need to be there. It actually bothered me that he was there.
I just like watching Todd Howard. No, Forza Horizon 4 looked cool.
Forza Horizon 4 did look cool. The fact that pretty sure they said everyone is in one world sounds like a server crash nightmare.
I'm surprised no one actually physically crashed. There was a lot of cars knocking about at one point.
Also, there are people everywhere. Nightmare. Yes. There was like 20 cars on that one road.
Yeah.
Which is going to be constant all over the map. It's going to be lag central. It's going to be people not being able to get into the servers. I refuse to believe it's actually everyone in one server.
No, it won't be. It won't be.
Because that's mental, but that's what they said. And, but Forza did look great. It looked stunning visually.
Yeah, really pretty. And actually was one of the one things made me go, oh, I would play that if I had
Forza Horizon. And I am getting an Xbox for a 4K Blu-ray player.
Yep.
So I will pick up some of the games.
Probably on Game Pass, though.
Yeah, I will pay $7.99 to play these games. I'm not paying £50.
This is the other weird thing they spoke about, though. Their new cloud streaming thing.
Yeah, why?
Because EA did that as well.
Oh, sorry, the Play Anywhere business. Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant the fast launch. Yeah, for Game Pass. Sorry.
Oh, that was retarded.
Yeah. It's cool, I guess, but again, with Xbox and EA doing that, PlayStation did it years ago.
Yep.
Years ago.
Exactly behind. And no one cares.
It was available before the PS4.
And no one cares because people don't want to be playing on these devices, though. People want a console. They can sit down in front of their TV with a console. That's what people want.
It's like I said the other day, nobody wants this fancy new holographic tech. They want a nice-looking TV.
People don't really want VR either. They want to try VR every now and then for a cool experience, but for a game, they want to sit down with a console that they can trust will work. If I have to rely on an internet connection to play fucking The Last of Us...
Never happened.
Like, I know, but imagine if that was the case. Like, no. Cyberpunk 2077 also showed up.
Yeah, again, a second CG trailer. It's gotten to the point...
Still know nothing about that game.
Yeah,
it looks cool, though.
It was a, as of PSX, Death Stranding situation.
Put my mic on top of a speaker.
We're just getting CG trailers with zero information.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, cool, one more of this and you're going to wear everyone out.
Yeah, agreed.
Disappear. If it's not ready for years, disappear.
Yeah.
Like,
but I am.
If your game is going to be on the next generation of consoles,
I
that's
feel like
fine.
Cyberpunk be sooner rather than later. I think
I don't.
How soon? Actually, you make a good point. Even by saying nothing, you've made a good point.
I really. 3 years is from now minimum, I think.
Maybe.
Because they take so long to develop their games, which is fine. They're huge and gorgeous and run perfectly.
Witcher 3 was amazing.
Exactly. Witcher 3 is still one of the best looking games, especially if you're playing on PC and maybe with like a minor mod or a few tweaks.
Even if you're playing with a launch PS4 on a bog standard 1080p TV.
Yeah, but there are definitely a lot of games that look better than that now.
There are, but it still looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Even PS4 Pro and 4K HDR looks fucking great though.
Yep. And it's that's why I think it's going to take so long. So that was 2015. Witcher 2 was like 2009.
Yeah.
That's 6 years. And that's a franchise they know.
Yeah.
They probably used a lot of assets, just made them look better from the previous game.
Very true.
Could be wrong. They could have built the entire thing from...
There will be definitely repeated assets. That's how game dev works.
So this is completely brand new. They've got to work with new characters. Obviously, some of the characters... This is their first original IP as well. The Witcher is a thing other than the game, so they had ideas of characters and settings and everything, so they didn't have to come up with that. They've got to come up with entirely new. Although, this could be set in real places. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be set in real places. So they could base it off that. But either way, they've still got to build assets. They've still got to design a new world, new characters, stories. For the first time, like different abilities and fighting style, combat and all that sort of stuff. This is the first time, really, since they made The Witcher 1, they're building something from utter scratch. So I think another 6-year gap is a perfectly reasonable assumption.
Yeah, fair. Do you want to run for our predictions?
Go.
I predicted Forza Horizon 4 with 4K HDR, a 2018 release date.
1 point?
1 point. Jack, no mainline Halo game.
So I have a couple of Microsoft predictions where I've been given a point, but they're very iffy points. So...
Well, we've got you marked down as half a point for this.
Okay.
Because they announced Halo Infinite, open ship.
But we have no idea. It doesn't look mainline.
Doesn't look mainline. I assume it's similar as in Halo Reach type thing. Spin-off, that's my guess.
I kind of feel... It feels more like an ODST vibe.
Yeah.
I would call Reach a mainline Halo. ODST was Halo 3 ODST.
The point being, we have no idea.
Yeah.
All they showed was a trailer, which looked jank, by the way.
Like the graph, like the environments looked stunning.
Yeah.
But as soon as anything
moved,
yeah, it looked really weird. The Warthog looked like it was kind of skiing uphill, not on snow, and it's a car. But anyway, yeah, it kind of looks like it isn't going to be a mainline Halo. I don't think they would ever kind of stealth tease without showing anything a mainline Halo, without making it very clear. True. It's a mainline Halo, which is why we got half the point instead of the entire point.
Dom then said Halo 6.
No.
It wasn't Halo 6.
Nothing was called Halo 6. This could be the 6th main Halo game.
Yeah.
In which case, we'll just deduct a point off me next year.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I then said the show opens with Tomb Raider gameplay. I was very wrong. Jack, Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass merge in some form.
No.
Dom, no mention of HoloLens. Bang on. 1 point. I said CD Projekt Red would reveal Cyberpunk 2077. Correct. Point.
Mm-hmm.
Jack.
This is the dodgy one.
6 new Xbox exclusives.
Yes. So we had Halo Infinite, Gears of 5.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah.
And another one.
Captain Toad was a thing.
Captain Toad?
Not Captain Toad. What's it called?
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Captain Toad is a Nintendo game.
Yeah, I know.
And then I looked through the console launch exclusives.
Yeah.
So that puts me at 4. I had a look through. Bear in mind, it was a very quick look through.
Yeah.
At 2 in the morning. Well, no, it would have been like 4 in the morning, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
To figure out which of the ones where they said console launch exclusive weren't out yet.
Yeah.
I came across Session.
Yep.
As one of them.
Which turns out to be a Kickstarter game where a bunch of guys wanted a new skate and EA wouldn't do one, so making it themselves, basically. That's what Session is.
Fair enough.
There's your small
but
studio.
if it's a Kickstarter, does that count as... Oh, it's not out yet. Yeah.
It's not out.
It's not out yet, and it's a console launch exclusive. Yep. And then the second one was Tunic. That puts me at 6, that little fox.
Everything else, though,
dungeon
seems
crawler.
to be already in existence.
Everything else seemed to be a game that was already on Steam or PC in some form. Like
Black had already been announced.
Yeah. So Black Desert Online, from the research I did, seemed to come out in 2014. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about that game, so I don't know if this is a second game. In which case, I'd be wrong.
Point is, we are on 6. If you have strong evidence to believe we are incorrect, tell us.
And I will deduct a point from myself.
However, 1 point, Jack. Very well done. I'll shake you by the hand on that one, because you pulled out your ass. But I
pulled that out of my... I said 6, and then they said 50 new games. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and then they said 15 exclusives, and then they didn't actually show 15 exclusives. Anyway, Dom then said they would talk about Sea of Thieves content. Yes, they did. 1 point. I said Anthem would have a new trailer with a summer 2019 release date.
Half a point there?
Not summer.
Yeah, but it had a new trailer.
Not at Xbox, it didn't. It was not at Xbox at all.
Oh.
I said Anthem would have a new trailer at Xbox with summer
wasn't.
2020 release date, beta for pre-order customers, and Xbox early access. None of those things happened.
Oh, so that wouldn't have even been half a point. That would have been quarter of a point.
0 points. Jack, you said there'd be a partnership with Oculus announced with potentially an Xbox version of the Rift.
Nope.
Dom said Anthem looks nothing like last year. A, it wasn't there, and B, I disagree. I think Anthem
it looks exactly the same.
Good.
I think it looks exactly the same, yeah.
Microsoft Conference. Jack scored 1.5 points. Dom and I scored 2. That leaves the current standings. Jack in last place, 2.5 points. Dom with 3 points. Me in the lead with 3.25 points at the end.
Still anyone's game.
Microsoft was strange. I couldn't decide how much I enjoyed it.
Phil Spencer talks too slow. It was giving me anxiety.
And he just makes me angry. Bethesda.
He's bad at his job.
Bethesda, where he did better job than Don Madden did, whoever his bloody name was.
Well, yeah, but everyone at Microsoft is...
Bethesda, here we go, right.
Seems to run Xbox as bad.
What's your feelings on Bethesda's conference?
First half...
I said this in my episode, in my video I did yesterday with Chris. First half...
all over the place.
Arse. Second half, great.
I wouldn't say arse, because I think...
No, I thought it was arse.
I thought... although they didn't show anything really, Doom was done well, Rage 2 was done well.
No, it wasn't. They had Andrew WK play for like 8 minutes. It was really awkward. It didn't really work.
Oh yeah, after that.
Okay,
when they actually started talking about the game.
After that, then yes. When they
actually started talking about the game.
Teleprompter was broken. That was funny.
Oh yeah, but when they actually started talking about the game.
Okay, yeah. And Rage 2 was really
showing
interesting.
the game.
And gorgeous.
Yep.
Lighting engine, it looked great.
I thought the game looked great.
Yeah.
And I thought that was done well. It was fine. Whatever. Doom 2 was done fine, even though they didn't really show... or Doom Eternal,
Doom Eternal, but it is Doom 2. They have confirmed it.
They
is
did
Doom
say
2.
sequel, which is why I cheered.
Yep, no, they've confirmed it is.
We were all very... and then he said Doom sequel. I was like, yes.
Yes, they've confirmed that it's Doom 2.
And yeah, whatever. When they started talking about Elder Scrolls Legends and Elder Scrolls Online and what have you, like that guy was awkward as all hell.
The one thing they did do there was they did keep going, but I feel like they went on too long about content that was already out. Still, they spoke a lot about
Elder Scrolls Online.
All
that stuff was out.
It was already out and whatnot.
There was a lot of new Prey content though.
There was, but I just feel like it was there for too long.
Yeah, it went on too long. But as soon as Todd Howard came out, stellar.
Oh my god, so good.
Absolutely stellar.
I very much enjoyed the little jokes and stuff throughout them as well. So, Rage 2.
And it glows in the fucking dark.
Rage 2, when he's talking about, here's a game that we were excited to show you, but thanks to our friends at Walmart Canada, who can't keep a fucking secret.
Well, who are really great at keeping a secret. It was so funny.
So good. And then there was a bit when talking about Wolfenstein, and he was saying like, we're doing this just to continue spreading our message of fuck Nazis. Which, good. And Todd Howard was great. The thing about our map glows in the fucking dark. And the bit when they were talking about the Elder Scrolls mobile game, which we'll get into in a minute, but it's what you can play at portrait in case you ever need another hand. Yeah. And it's just pause, and he's like, "What, for holding coffee? What are you on about?" So good. So good.
I like
Only
the fact that he was just like...
can get away with a masturbation joke at a press conference. So good.
Yeah, and I just love the only Bethesda can get away with encouraging people to play Elder Scrolls during meetings at work as well.
What was the other thing? He made a comment about... because it was obviously Fallout being online. Made a comment about, building on games is hard, apparently. I've read on the internet that our games have a few bugs. It's true. I've read it on the internet. It's true.
And then, the
Skyrim Very Special Edition.
It was so funny.
So good.
That man.
And Keegan Key, whatever his name is.
Key, he's Key, because Jordan Peele is the...
Yeah. Keegan? Is that his name? Kevin?
Keegan Key Peele, I think.
Either way.
No, because it's Jordan Peele, isn't it?
Point is, he was great for it.
Yes, he was... Oh.
I eat all the cheese!
Remember, darling, what the doctor told you about dairy? I eat all the cheese. Apparently that's a thing.
It is a thing. You can download it on Alexa.
Because there was a lot of stuff I read on Twitter. It was just like, the most disappointing thing about E3 is that Skyrim on Alexa isn't real.
Yeah, it turns out it is.
I need an Alexa.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. It's like Zorg or whatever that text adventure was, but they read it to you.
I think Fallout looks awesome. I don't like Fallout, but I think it was really interesting.
The engine is clearly new, and they did say that.
And they needed to do that.
Because it looks stunning.
It's really nice.
Because it's earlier as well.
I don't know if stunning is the right word, because there are definitely still games that look 100 times better.
Like, if the wide shots of the environments look stunning, but obviously it still looks very Bethesda.
But that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it still looks very Bethesda. Bethesda have never released a game that's, I would say,
the fact that they've updated
graphically up to scratch.
The fact they've updated their line engine, clearly their particle engine's updated, and
it has colour.
It looks much nicer. The textures look much nicer. It looks more like it fits in this generation now. I don't think Fallout looked like it fitted in this generation myself. But the idea of it being online and you can play it completely solo or online with friends, I think that's a good idea. If they pull that off, that can work nicely. I think if anyone can put it off, it would be Bethesda as well, to be honest with you. The Elder Scrolls mobile game Blades, bit odd, but I like what they're doing.
I kind of feel this is another dodgy point for me.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Starfield?
See, there are reasons I think that this this announcement is kind of just like, but it's not due to the announcement itself, it's due to things around it.
Yep.
But also that could completely change when the game comes out.
Yep.
So, it's basically my main issue is Elder Scrolls 6 was announced as well, which is a game everyone definitely wants more than they want Starfield.
Yep.
But it's afterwards, and Starfield is years away.
They said Starfield was next gen. He means next gen.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I was about to start saying, like, next generation for them, because they haven't really done anything.
He said Starfield is next gen.
I know he said the words next generation, but also that doesn't mean shit anymore, because even a week ago, people have still been calling PS4 next gen.
Oh, yeah, that's just
But also, thinking about the timeline, obviously they have a pretty big gap. There's been 3 years between these Fallouts, so if we say 3 years again, that's PS5.
The next gen is a coming, Jack.
Yes, so I'd say it's pretty early next gen.
Yeah, I'm convinced after some things we've seen at this E3. I actually think, and I was with you a couple of weeks ago. I really do think the consoles are coming a little bit sooner than what we expected.
I think announced 2020. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I don't know. Because sometimes they do... It changes. Sometimes they announce them at E3. Sometimes they announce like a February thing.
Which is what they did with the PS4 and
one. More details E3 out in the fall.
Yeah.
And, autumn.
We should discuss this later.
I haven't finished my point.
Finish your point. I mean the consoles next gen, because I want to talk about some next gen consoles. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But sometimes they also just announce at E3 and it's out the next year.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, depending what they do. If they're going to do the beginning of the year announcement, end of the year release, I think it's 2020. If they're going to do it at E3, I think it's next year.
Next year's the reveal.
If they announce at E3 and it's out the next year.
Basically,
I think it's out 2020.
I'm just going to say, I think the consoles are out 2020, and I think they reveal them next E3. At least Sony does. Microsoft, who the fuck knows? I think Sony reveal their console at E3 next year.
Yeah, my only concern is because obviously PS4 Pro is still pretty new. It's not even 2 years old yet. And Xbox One X is even newer. So if Microsoft come out and announce a new console next year, I kind of think people are just going to be like, do one.
Sony will let them move first. I think no matter what, Sony will let them. Sony won't announce anything until Microsoft have.
They don't need to.
No, they don't need to, so they won't. Either way, Bethesda, we'll get to that later, because we will have a topic about this. Bethesda.
My sleeve was caught in the chair.
You could see that, yeah. Jack's sleeve was caught in the chair. Solid conference, though, from the end of it. I really enjoyed Todd Howard's section. I think he commands the stage really well.
Yep, 100%. He is a very charismatic, funny man.
And I think the games are good.
So Pete Hines.
Yep. Elder Scrolls 6 has me hyped, even though it's miles away.
And it doesn't even have a name.
I really like the idea of Starfield as well. If it is what they're implying, a Bethesda-style
if it's a Fallout
RPG
Elder Scrolls game
in space,
where
I can go between planets and shit like that, yeah,
sold.
Take my money. Predictions.
Shit name, though.
Yes. Dom, Starfield gets revealed. 100%. Solid point.
Yep.
Jack 2, Doom 2, 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Rage 2 gameplay with a 2018 release window, half point. They showed the gameplay.
Yep.
2018 release window was wrong. Dishonored 2 on Switch from Dom.
Nope.
No, didn't mention Dishonored at all throughout this conference. Jack, you said Skyrim 2.
No.
No.
Yeah, I said that they'd get around the Elder Scrolls 6 thing by saying.
Christian, me, I said no Elder Scrolls mainline would show at all.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong, Elder Scrolls 6 was there. Dom said Fallout would be mentioned, because this was before Fallout 76 was announced, made his predictions, so he's bang on. There was a point, because Fallout wasn't
Fallout was
mentioned.
definitely mentioned, yeah.
Jack, you said Dishonored 3.
Wrong.
I said Switchport for Rage. No,
Nope.
Nothing to talk. Dom said push on the Content Workshop. They didn't mention the Content Workshop. Jack, you said there would be an Elder Scrolls game spin-off in the vein of New Vegas. We have given you a point for Elder Scrolls Blades, and I'm more than happy to take that point and run with it.
Because by this... So at the beginning of...
He said the words, it is an Elder Scrolls in its full form or something like that, didn't he?
Yeah, at the beginning it looked more like...
A
full... No. So it's... Before they showed the game, it sounded more like Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
But as soon as they showed the game and the way he was describing it, it sounded like it was just a full Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
But then he started talking about the town being your hub for quests and stuff, so it didn't sound quite the same. I'm happy to take the point, obviously, but it does seem like a full Elder Scrolls game, just happens to be mobile. He also said it's coming to consoles and PC.
Consoles, PC and VR across all.
So you kind of feel that it wouldn't be a shitty little... I wonder if it's going to look like garbage on PC and...
Probably.
Console though.
I did say there'd be a new IP announced that would not be Starfield with a 2019 release window. I was wrong.
Incorrect, yes.
So at the end of Bethesda, Jack, you scored 2 points, Dom scored 2 points, I scored 0.5, leaving me in last place with 3.75 points, you in second place with 4.5 points, and Dom in the lead with 5 points. It's still anyone's game.
I've already spoiled it.
Game. Square Enix.
What a load of wank! Sorry, I just had to get out there because, my God, it was like 25 minutes of pure shit, and I'm really angry about it.
Ubisoft. That's all we need to say about Square Enix. Ubisoft was... No, it was shit. It was
so
shit.
bad. With this one, we don't need to talk about what was there, because, let me tell you, nothing. We need to talk about what wasn't there.
Where the fuck was Avengers?
So there are a lot of things I'm hearing at the moment that are saying that Marvel Games wants to keep every game separate. It doesn't want to like merge them in any way, and that they don't really want to show off one game before one is out there. Then why the fuck do we have a trailer? That first cinematic trailer that lets us know this is even a thing. 2, why? That doesn't make a difference. That just means that everyone's going to have to wait longer, and you're only going to get out like 1 or 2 games per generation. It's going to be stupid.
Where the fuck was Avengers?
This game was announced a year ago.
What in the fuck is going on? It really pisses me off.
So if it's just because they don't have anything to show yet, great.
Why did they do this conference thing? So the conference had Tomb Raider gameplay. Not very much of. Looked like Tomb Raider. Didn't look good nor bad. More Tomb Raider. Could have just been in a Microsoft conference. Should have just been in the Microsoft conference.
Yep.
A Kingdom Hearts trailer we'd already had in the Microsoft conference. The exact same trailer. They did then do a Final Fantasy crossover thing with
Monster Hunter.
Do that in PlayStation conference. What else do we have? Some other shit IPs were shown that I think we'd already seen.
Dragon Quest, I don't care about. Loads of other...
Crap.
Octopath Traveler or whatever that
Why was
load
it there?
of
All we can say
scenes.
was it was rubbish. Jack, you predicted the Final Fantasy VII Remake would have a 2019 release. Wasn't even there.
Wasn't even there. That was one of my shooting for the stars predictions.
Myself and Dom both predicted that Kingdom Hearts 3 would get a release date. This got its release date just before E3 started, so we've taken half a point each.
Yep.
And it was mentioned in that conference showing. Yep. Jack, you said we'd find out what Avengers is. You were wrong.
Fucking no.
I said we'd find out what Avengers is. I was wrong. Dom said we'd find out Avengers is like the Lego games.
I think that's wrong anyway, but...
Jack! Hitman 2.
So when I made this prediction, I forgot about a very solid piece of information that
quite a crucial piece of information.
Quite a crucial piece of information.
I also forgot, and so did Dom. So
Square Enix gave Eidos Montreal the rights to Hitman.
Yes. No. IO Interactive.
You are correct. Sorry, IO Interactive the rights to Hitman. I completely forgot about that, so they went to a different publisher. Fair game.
Warner Brothers as well.
Went to Warner Brothers. So
the game got announced, but not by Square Enix.
So they have given me half a point.
Very fairly, I think the scorekeeper's given you half a point.
Yes.
I think they've been a little bit lenient, personally.
Yeah, okay, but then you've got half points for this very similar stuff.
I said there'd be Tomb Raider details. I was correct. 1 point.
Correct.
Dom said they showed 2 new IPs. They showed 2 new IPs.
They did, yeah. They
dogs'
showed...
arse, but they were IPs.
What were the IPs? Oh,
Quiet Man.
Emo Daredevil and Babylon Anus.
Yeah. You said they'd show 1 new IP. You got a point because they did. I said, well, just that they'd show an IP.
A new IP,
and I had the exact same prediction. They'd show a new IP. So 1 point there, which means that conference, Dom had 1 point. Jack had 1.5 points for that conference. I got 2.5, which now leaves Jack and Dom in tied second place with 6 points each. I am now in the lead with 6.25 points.
Anybody's game, despite the fact that I've already spoiled it.
Anybody's game. Ubisoft. Where the fuck was Aisha Tyler?
Where the fuck was Splinter Cell?
Where the fuck was any form of quality?
That was a disaster.
Control?
Like,
oh my god!
To be honest, I couldn't understand a word people were saying.
So there wasn't much there either.
No,
they showed hardly anything. None of them was
everything
new.
that was already out. They decided to show.
Literally, they didn't show anything new. The only new thing they showed was Trials, the new Trials game.
Yes.
No one gives a crap.
Just Dance.
Okay, Just Dance, fine. But everything else was already announced.
Yeah, announced, leaked by Ubisoft on purpose.
Rainbow Six walked on the E3 stage and announced a documentary about Rainbow Six.
So let me be the first one to say, I adore Rainbow Six Siege. I am its ultimate fanboy. I'll take any little ball tickle they give me. Fuck off.
Thank you. Why? That's not what E3 is for, man. Like,
E3 is the thing about games, not about documentaries about games.
the only thing they did that pissed
It's
me
also
off
about
more,
an esports version of the game.
only thing they did that pissed me off more than that was the Mario vs. Rabbids section.
That was like 10 minutes long.
Let me go out on a limb and say I love Mario vs. Rabbids. I really enjoyed that game.
It's a
and would
great
probably
game.
take any ball tickle that they give me. But I did not need to see a 10-minute music segment of just a band playing some music from the game. No. Not what your stage is for. Put Splinter Cell in it.
Yeah.
For Honor, new update. Couldn't care less.
Is it a new update
Division,
or a new game?
It's a new update.
Is it a new
Division
update? I couldn't
2
tell.
showing another trailer, a little bit more gameplay they'd already showed in the Xbox conference. The game looks solid.
Yep.
I'm interested.
That gameplay should have been there.
It should have been there, and it
They
should have
should have taken
longer,
it from
should have been more
Microsoft,
in depth, and it should
put
have
it
had
at
something in
Ubisoft.
it that made me go, hello. They announced their full year one plan. The game's
Solid.
not. But the game's not out for another 8 months. I think that's really weird. Why are they talking about their year one plan and then moving into year two plan when the game's not out?
Because they didn't go into specifics about the year one plan.
okay.
It's basically because everyone's getting out in front of this and saying there is no season pass. All the content is free.
True.
That's what I think they wanted to say.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Beyond Good and Evil. Open the show.
With a weird level of gameplay.
Weird level of gameplay.
There was gameplay, but not enough. All the snippets were so short you couldn't really tell what anyone was doing.
And they're all kept on that back panel. They weren't actually ever put full screen for us at home watching. So very odd. Very, very odd.
Yeah.
And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt came out to say they'd merged with Hit Record to do some community content creation stuff.
Hit Record is a cool concept. I like what they do. If you don't know it at home, Hit Record is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company where they get people from all around the world. Anyone, you can just sign up to come together to make music, to make short films, to make documentaries, whatever you want to make. But you just get people from all around the world contributing and putting their things. Some people do animation for something and the other person does like guitar part, piano, whatever. Other people script it, write it, what have you, and then they just all put it together. So they're doing that with Beyond Good and Evil, where you can have your artwork or your music or something put into the game. And I think it's an interesting and a cool way of doing it, as opposed to being a competition. Like, if you're not that confident or that great of a writer or a musician or something, but you want something in the game, if it's a competition, you're not going to win. So it kind of sucks. It's very a bit demeaning. This way you can contribute, and if you're not that great a writer, but you write a bit of script with a great concept in it, someone can come in as maybe better skills in writing and just make your concept great. Or the same applies to music, same applies to art, and then it can get in the game. Everyone just contributes to the thing. However, I have two opinions on this. One, continuing my fact that it's great. That's cool. 2, why does no one at Ubisoft just do their own job?
That's exactly my problem.
This is what you get paid to do. Yes. Do it your fucking self.
Yes, that's exactly my problem with it all. Assassin's Creed.
Origins Point 2.
A cool looking Greek RPG game that they couldn't figure out how to set it, so they plastered Assassin's Creed skin on it and
I disagree.
Copy and pasted the code for Origins.
I disagree.
I just think it's weird. How similar it was to Origins in so many ways.
That's why I think it was always meant to be Assassin's Creed.
I guess, but it's just even like the art, the overlay style, like the same fonts, the same cut.
That is because I think it's a Brotherhood, not a 2.
Apparently, it's set before the events of Origins as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to link in some way. Whether the ending brings you up to date with the events of Origins, or it carries on after, and they've just used the name wrong.
I would like to clarify. I really liked Assassin's Creed Origins. I think
it.
This looks really good fun. I will probably buy it. I would definitely buy it. I would enjoy it. Probably even buy a special edition with a statue because that's who I am.
I'll be getting this game as well. I was watching it just like, cool. I'm ready for another one.
Just nothing special. That's my point. It never blew me away. It was just cool, more Assassin's Creed. I like that I do actually like there's a few more RPG elements in there.
Yep.
I don't think they're necessary, but I'm intrigued to see how it works. So there's dialogue tree options now. You choose your own character, male or female.
I don't care about the dialogue tree.
Romancing options as well are going to be in there, which is interesting. I don't know if it's necessary. None of it's necessary.
None of it's necessary.
I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. Interesting in that sense. I'm intrigued.
My only issue is it's just a year later.
Yeah, go back to bring me Watch Dogs 3, bring me Splinter Cell, give me Assassin's Creed next year. Jack.
Yeah.
You predicted there'd be Beyond Good and Evil gameplay.
Yep.
You're correct. I predicted there'd be Beyond Good and Evil gameplay, but with a 2019 release window. There was no release window, so I got half a point. Dom said there'd be Steep 2. No.
Nope.
You and I both said Watch Dogs 3 would be announced for 2018 release.
Fuck you, Assassin's Creed.
Did not happen. Dom said there'd be a new Nintendo crossover.
Nope.
Did not happen. You said Splinter Cell be announced with a March/April release window.
Very wrong.
Did not happen. I said Splinter Cell would be announced with no release window. It did not happen. Dom said Splinter Cell would be announced with no release window. It did not happen. You said there'd be a new bizarre IP.
Along the lines of For Honor, Skull and Bones.
There was not a single new IP.
No, they just expanded on all their ones we already know about.
I said Aisha Tyler would return.
Nope.
She did not.
Unfortunately.
Dom said there would be a dance routine.
There was.
Of course there was. So, Jack and Dom scored 1 point each. I scored half a point. Leaving the scores so far. Jack and Dom tied first place with 7 points. Close behind is me with 6.75 points. What do you think of Skull and Bones?
Don't care. They've taken the least interesting part of some of the old Assassin's Creed games. That, to be fair, they've taken that part because I'm in the minority and I didn't like it. A lot of people did, which is why they've taken that part. And they've just stretched it as thin as you can possibly stretch it.
Really enjoyed that section of the game. Not enough to have a whole game, that's all it is. If that was a solid pirate RPG game that had that in there, I'd all over it. I'd have that. I love pirates. I'd love a solid RPG pirate game. I think Ubisoft would be a good studio.
Even have the word pirate.
Yep, I think Ubisoft would be a good studio to do it.
Yep.
Black Flag is a prime example. Yep. I've said for a long time I think Black Flag is a fantastic pirate game. Poor Assassin's Creed game, but a really good pirate game. I would like them just to try and make a proper pirate game. If I could get a Disney license as well, that'd make me very happy because I'm a child inside.
Pirates of the Caribbean needs to die.
I am a child inside. Sony.
That franchise needs to die.
Sony is the saving grace. Or is it?
Yes.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, it was still so bad. I'm sorry. I so many things about the Sony conference that I did not like. Presented strangely.
It's presented very strangely, but
a lot of filler.
To be honest,
the only redeeming feature was everything they did show. They didn't show much, but everything they did show was fucking incredible.
Oh my god!
And that's the difference here. They didn't show much, but they didn't need to because it still shat on everything else over E3.
But I also just believe that anything after those games isn't PS4, so it doesn't need to be there.
And this is why I think this is my thing. They showed their 4 big games. They showed The Last of Us. We'll get into the details in a minute. They showed Ghost of Tsushima again. Death Stranding again. More Spider-Man. They showed a few announcements third-party wise. All of them looked really interesting. That was it. That's all he did. Because the new consoles are coming. These big games. Spider-Man comes out September the 7th.
Mm-hmm. Days Gone comes... Well, they have Days Gone. There wasn't there, but Days Gone in February.
Death Stranding. Last of Us 2. Ghost of Tsushima. Will come out. From that point onwards. Until the end of 2020. I think they'll all be out before the next console launches holiday season 2020. Because at E3 next year, they will unveil the PlayStation 5, whatever it is, with a couple of other new titles that will be the next gen games. I'm convinced. There's got a bit... Why else would they not show us anything now? Because as you say, they've got nothing beyond these games now for this generation.
I agree.
My timing might not be 100%, but anything we're seeing now, because they're announcing games next E3.
100%.
Because otherwise there isn't any fucking games left. So they're announcing games next E3. They're next gen games.
Agreed, 100%. So post Days Gone.
Yep.
Which one do you think's first?
Based off what we saw yesterday, Last of Us.
So I'm of two minds.
Is that Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, that's what I can't decide.
I think Last of Us
showed more.
A summer game. It's been in development longer as well.
But has it?
Oh, good point. Actually, good point. I just think Last of Us. I think Last of Us will be their summer game, and Ghost of Tsushima will be a winter game for them.
Sucker Punch released a game before Naughty Dog's last game by 2 years.
It's very hard to tell. Maybe when we see more at PSX, we will see more at PSX. Maybe we'll see enough to enlighten us.
Because I have the weird feeling that they just want... Last of Us is obviously... Because they announced that... They kind of dropped that at the end of a PSX.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that was purely because...
Last of Us was... I know for a fact Last of Us was supposed to be in development sooner than what it was, but because of the mishap with Uncharted 4 and the change of the team, Last of Us got put on hold whilst Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley picked up Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
So Last of Us should be... I reckon Last of Us should have been out roundabout by now, or at least getting to the launch period.
Probably this year. But no, I think the only reason they announced Last of Us when they did was because it was just a oh fuck moment at the end of their conference. Perfectly good reason to do it. This is
the only thing their conference was missing, was an oh fuck moment.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any oh fuck moments. And they did say there wasn't going to be one, but...
I don't think it needed one.
I disagree. I feel like you do. I just feel like with E3, that's what you do.
Yeah, but...
I know that's just what's been written in now, because that's what's happened every year, but...
To be honest, I think it would just be worse, because obviously we know that these 4 games of the 5 Days Gone are the...
Last of the generation.
Are the last ones.
And they're all going to be stunning.
Yep. And if they had an oh fuck moment...
Yeah, true.
We know it's going to be...
We know it's next gen,
years away. So it kind of just...
Jack,
I'm kind of glad they didn't...
Let's talk about Last of Us.
I want to say one more thing.
Okay, cool.
So...
Sorry, I'm just excited about Last of Us.
Last of Us being... I think that was just because that's more of an oh fuck moment than Ghost of Tsushima is, because no one knew what that was. If you just dropped that trailer, everyone would be like, oh, interested, but drop The Last of Us, or just that in the woods and see the firefly symbol, everyone just goes, fuck.
That reveal was amazing.
Exactly.
The noises that came out of my mouth.
I don't think it being revealed earlier has any indication on the fact that it's further along in development. I just think, because Infamous Second Son would have been the last thing they made.
Actually, when you put it like that, it makes a very good point. So yeah,
would have been the last thing they made, and that they did have these standalone DLC of First Light come out the year later, still more recent than Uncharted 4. But I also think that would have been a small team.
Yeah, very small team. Probably not even the main team.
So that's 4 years. The last game came out 4 years ago. So that's why I'm like, I think it could go either way. I still believe. So for me, it's just a question: do we get 3 or 4 Sony exclusives next year?
3. We get Days Gone, Last of Us, and Ghost of Tsushima next year.
No, because there's another one in there.
What, in 2019? Not a first party title, there isn't.
Oh! Wait. I've confused myself. There's 5 left. And I think 2 of them...
One of them September, Spider-Man.
What are the other ones? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, that's where I was getting confused. Spider-Man's this year. That's where I was getting confused with the numbers.
I think 2019 we've got Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us, not necessarily in that order, and then we get.
So you do think all 3 of them are next year, and then we only have 1 the year after?
One first party title, yes. Third party exclusives, more of.
Oh shit! Of course. Well, no, because Spider-Man's that. Spider-Man's the third party.
Yeah, but we're not even second party now anyway, so we're not even including.
Yeah, I know, but I just mean
we know there isn't any more first party titles this year. That's not happening. That's 100%. There are no more first party titles this year.
Yeah, but
if it's working out that the consoles are being launched in the way that I am now putting forward, and this is just me putting forward an idea.
Yeah, of course.
Shit, I think that's the way they do it, and I think that's the right way to do it. Because, go on.
Is that Remedy game an exclusive? I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. It didn't say.
It didn't say. If it is, I don't think we get 3.
But that's not first party, though.
No. But we're not getting 3 first parties this year.
But that might not even be next year. That could be 2020.
It said 2019. That trailer ended with 2019.
It did say 2019, okay.
So that is 2019.
The thing is, though, I don't think... If they do end up launching next-gen consoles 2020, I don't think they have 2 first-party titles that year before it, because... You're not giving your audience enough chance to finish. You're not giving your mass audience. People like you and I...
What do you mean?
People like you and I will buy a game like that as soon as it launches. Mm-hmm. And we'll do it in a couple of days.
Which game are we talking about now?
A big first-party title.
Oh, any game. Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be done within a week.
Most consumers will not. Mm-hmm. A lot of big consumers that are big gaming fans still haven't even touched Horizon yet. If they put 2... I feel like they would get...
That's kind of their own fault at this point.
I realise. But I think they'll get... You know, it's no one else's fault. It's definitely their own fault. Like, they're morons.
But I just mean that's not giving them enough time to finish.
No. But I feel like if you bring out, say, Death Stranding, February 2020, with it already being announced that PS5 is coming in November 2020. And in summer 2020, you bring out another big first-party title, Last of Us 2, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yes, they can make it work, but then you've got no room for other first-party... I don't know, I just don't feel like it.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, I don't know,
The Last of Us came out in June and the PS4 came out in November.
But was there any other first-party titles that year, though?
I don't know. It was 5 years ago.
Exactly. I don't know. Who can tell? But...
So...
Go on.
If that... I can't remember what the Remedy game is called... PlayStation's Quantum Break, because it looked very Quantum Break.
Control.
Yes. So if Control, which looked quite cool actually.
We did think it was Quantum Break for a while though, and then it came out that it was Remedy in 505.
Well, it looked kind of Death Stranding at the beginning, and then I was like, this looks very Quantum Break, and then it just came out with Remedy. I was like, they've changed nothing, but it looks quite cool. If that's exclusive. I think one of them gets pushed.
Yeah, okay. Could be right.
Which one? I'm still pretty adamant that Last of Us comes out next September. I think it takes Spider-Man.
It's next year. I know that much. I don't think it's...
I don't think it's 2020.
No, I think it's 19.
I think it kind of takes the Spider-Man Gran Turismo slot.
It'll take my slot. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, if I can. And then there'll be... Control and Days Gone at the other end of the year, because they always have a blank middle.
I would like to talk about The Last of Us.
So would I.
I also really need the toilet. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we put a kind of funny type situation here where I disappear for 2 minutes, or we just keep rolling and see if I survive. But I have had my legs crossed for a while now.
Go to the toilet. I'll entertain these children.
I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Netley. And I'm going to escape.
Oh, the microphone's in my face. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Get yourself right up in the camera.
No.
Oh, no, it won't be long. It'll be fine.
Now, we need to talk about that man, Mr. Christian Yassam, and his distaste of Jaffa cakes. I think if you don't like Jaffa cakes, then there's a special place in hell for you. Like, you have a booth reserved right up next to Satan's throne. And there'll be a nice milkshake waiting there for you. Your favourite flavour of milkshake, made with lumpy, mouldy milk from a cat. In other words, you should definitely like Jaffa cakes. But more importantly, there's a special place in hell's hell for people who don't like jammy dodgers. I would like to point that out, that jammy dodgers are possibly the greatest thing that man has ever made. I don't care about penicillin. I don't care about just inventing video games, sliced bread. Although I don't see why that's a major invention. Someone just took a knife to bread. Crumpets are also pretty great, but jammy dodgers. I could live a very unhealthy but happy life purely on jammy dodgers. So Mr. Lasham, not liking them. I don't know if this show can go on for much longer. My distrust of this man is growing minute by minute. It's madness. Utter madness. Next he's going to say he punches puppies. Oh, he's coming. Everybody be quiet.
You've been sat like that the whole time.
No. I heard you coming, so I was quiet.
Wait to see what you've done. Oh, hello. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Oh, God. How much censoring am I going to have to do?
None.
Okay, all right, okay.
Just the...
What?
Nothing.
What?
It's fine.
The Last of Us 2. I hate this.
It's not bad, it's fine. Okay. It's funny. I think you'll find it funny.
You're very red.
It's really hot and I'm laughing.
Jack, The Last of Us 2 was for me, hands down,
the greatest thing E3 has ever shown.
Not only the greatest thing E3 has ever shown, but the best looking gameplay I have ever seen in a third-person action game ever.
Agreed. My God, I'm crying. Fucking hell. Yes, I agree.
Holy Last of Us.
I just want to talk about little details. It's the little details.
That's what Naughty Dog always do anyway.
Yeah.
They are just unparalleled. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I get that they see the vision and they go, these are the things we should be doing. I get that.
But how do they
do it?
Yeah, no, it's
just mind-blowing.
The little things that I want to talk about are just the bits that there's a...
It's the world interaction, right?
100%. There's a bit where she gets shot in the arm. She grabs her shoulder.
Naturally and realistically.
Yeah, just,
with an actual graze wound turning up.
Falls back a bit.
And that stays with her for the rest of the scene.
She
doesn't die. She doesn't give up with that. That's causing her grief going forward.
Yep, there's very clearly a dodge button, but it's not one of those things where it comes up with triangle.
No, you got to fucking dodge it actually.
Yeah, it's like triangle.
If you don't, you get hit and she reacts to that. She gets hit with the arrow, and again, that's there.
Yeah, the arrow is broken, but in her arm.
And it's clearly affecting you.
Her poor right shoulder.
Mate, yeah. But she pulls it out when she has chance. In that gameplay sequence, which isn't scripted.
When she has a chance, that's the important bit here. It doesn't just stop the game to pull it out.
Yeah.
She doesn't remove it. I don't know if it's a prompt, you have to remove it to then be able to heal.
It looks like you couldn't heal. So I watched the gameplay back this morning. It looks like that your health was sort of then limited. So you were stuck with a certain point you wouldn't be able to heal past.
Until you remove it.
So there'll be a button to remove said thing, I guess.
I just love the fact that you can't really tell because there's no button prompts.
No.
It's so clean.
There was no dog shit moment where she started doing an action where it looked crappy and gameplay and video gamey. It all looked so normal. Whenever she picked anything up, It was all fluid.
That moment where you're sprinting,
running, grabs the bottle,
and has a little hop throw thing, like you would if you were running and throw something.
Even the way her animation changed to actually pick up that bottle. It's not just a swipe and the bottle's in her hand.
Leaning to reach, wrap the hand round the bottle, bring the arm immediately up to throw it.
She took the arrow out of the dead guy. And
she put her hand there
and braces and pulls it out and puts it in her quiver. She kills someone who drops a bunch of arrows which fall, and she scoops them all up and puts them in a... My God.
Now here's the thing.
The lighting as well. Stunning.
Just visually, that game was absolutely stunning. Possibly the best game
ever.
Best looking game I've ever seen.
It's just,
now here's the thing. I don't mean this in a negative light, and I will fully explain what I mean. It looks scripted, but quite clearly, in my opinion, isn't.
I want to talk on this because that is Naughty Dog. That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cinematic.
I would say from Uncharted 2. Uncharted 1 tried it but never got it quite right. Uncharted 2, it's...
I still think they haven't really nailed it before.
I don't know. There's definitely moments where you could... The detail in the world interaction, there's bits where you can get into a fight sequence, it looks scripted but it isn't. And
yeah, so like the set pieces in Uncharted.
Set pieces are different. They are scripted to an extent, and that's fine, but this clearly wasn't a set piece.
Yeah, but I even mean just like in combat and whatnot, it all looks gamey.
Yes, gamey. Yeah. This is another level, don't get me wrong.
No, but I just think it doesn't look any more cinematic in general gameplay, Naughty Dog, in like just standard gameplay action sections, then another good looking game. Like, I don't think it's any more cinematic than Horizon mid combat or what have you, especially Uncharted. You do that weird little jump,
the combat itself,
and do the weird little roll, like thing. It just, don't get me wrong, Uncharted has always been stunning for the time.
This is a new time though, Jack.
It's always been stunning for the time,
but I mean, time.
They've always done little things where like. It was when Uncharted 1 came out, he came out of the lake and he was wet.
Up until where he was in the water.
Yeah. Stuff like that, and the fact that, like, in Uncharted 4, when you're walking through the crowd, people just don't miraculously bounce off you. You interact. You're kind of constantly doing that.
You're a wall, a surface, you put your hand and push yourself past it and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're on, like, quite a lot of time, if you're on lower health as well, you kind of lean on more things than you would normally. But this... The Last of Us Part 2, it always kind of looked like it was a cutscene you were playing without it being a quick time event. Like, there's a point where, one, you can go prone. That's cool. Yep, but also, that's not that great.
But you
can go under the truck.
And they looked for you, and they were
looking for you.
They
actually look like... They actually look under the trucks normally in a game. If you can hide under something, it's a hiding spot. They can't find you there.
Yeah, and they looked under truck, and then you made a noise, so the other person figured out you're under there because he saw you and grabbed you out.
And it can't.
That has to be dynamic in game because there was nothing forcing you to go under that truck.
No, not at all.
Nothing forced you to go under that truck at all. That's dynamic.
Obviously, it was scripted in the sense of they knew exactly how they were going to play.
Yeah.
But in a sense of,
I imagine Neil Druckmann's playing that, and he's probably done it 100 times over until he's got it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a point where she misses a shot, her last bullet, which I think was on purpose.
Yeah, because they did,
so they could show the.
They did that in the original Last of Us gameplay reveal. They missed some shots to get down to I've run out of ammo point to show that Ellie picks up the brick and interacts for you. So they definitely this is a gameplay showing. There are elements of it which is following a script because it's a presentation.
Because they want to show you specific things about the game and they have to script that. So it's not a negative anyway. But I just mean like the way it kind of looks like when you get grabbed, it kind of looks like it's going into a cutscene, but it clearly isn't because you have to fight back, fight off, and just the camera angles and everything are hugely important in this. There's a bit where you get grabbed and thrown through the counter, and all the glass breaks, and again the camera angle changes, so it looks like it's a cutscene of you just getting thrown over the counter and landing.
At that sequence as well, she's moving around like sliding through gaps of the shelves and stuff.
Yeah, she squeezes through bookshelves and stuff like that. It's
and then when you kill that final guy and you shoot him a couple times with arrow and then you switch to the melee blade,
and he just falls down. Like, he actually just stumbles to his knee after, like, taking a couple of arrows because he's just fucked. Like,
so
they were
good.
clearly playing on easy. The Last of Us would never let you kill someone here with one arrow.
It was brutal.
It was so brutal.
The guy getting gutted.
Obviously, I did bring up...
Every hit as well actually made a contact.
Yep.
There was none of that just swiping through and it's done a bit of damage. It was every single hit was a full contact. Many blades stuck in flesh before being pulled back out again. Even when she got hit, she made contact. She reacted to that, and it was throwing people off balance. She got hit, it threw her off balance. He hit someone, it threw them off balance. And environment swinging, he swung to hit her, missed and hit like a car and bounced back, and that again threw him off balance and just.
It was absolutely stunning. Obviously, I did have one issue that I mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, and I have already solved said issue for you, but go on.
So right there. My favourite part of The Last of Us was Joel.
Okay. Joel was in that trailer. He's mentioned. He's in the game. He's not dead. He is there. They've confirmed it. I'm telling you. So
when was he in the
cutscene part at the beginning, and they're in the church, and the lesbians, Ellie's watching it.
Jesus. I don't think... Was the fact that they're lesbians relevant to your story?
Ellie is watching her girlfriend dance.
Yeah.
And the guy...
Not her girlfriend, clearly, because I don't think she knows. Because she's also talking about, I'll give it 2 weeks until she is back with him.
Yeah, okay. So, either way, she's watching the girl that she has a crush on dance.
Yep.
The Asian guy comes over and talks to her. First thing he says, your old man was having a go at me last night or something like that. Or your old man was going at me.
So, I always knew he was there. He's in the last trailer, and Troy Baker is in this game. Obviously, they could just get him to play someone else.
I think he is going to be a big part of it. We don't know exactly what the story is.
I really hope so, because as much as I liked Ellie, I liked Ellie's dynamic with Joel. I didn't like her as her own character specifically.
She's an older character, her character would have developed. But I would argue 100%. This would be like the Uncharted 4 gameplay reveal, where the initial reveal did not show you any Elena. It's just a section of the game that he's not there.
She's not there for like all of it.
But she's still there for her. There is a big section where they have her in there.
Yeah, I know, but I want him to be there the entire time.
It could well be. We've seen 10 minutes. We really don't know.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not. This isn't like bumming me out about the game. It's kind of just like, I want to see Joel.
I do want to see Joel. I think great character dynamic.
I still think it's really weird that the rumour was he was dead because he was just standing in the doorway.
It's not a rumour. It's just in the internet doing things. But my God, Jack... Was that game stunning?
That was one way to get me.
Do you know what else was
fully?
Do you know what else I thought was stunning? Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
What in the fuck? Where'd this come from?
How did they go from Infamous to this?
It's just, again...
To me, this is almost a bigger jump as Killzone to Horizon.
Yep, completely agree. It's an open world game. They haven't shown us the open world elements. Imagine we'll see that at PSX. A lot of inspiration, I'd say, from Shadow of Colossus. The camera angles
art style and camera angles, I agree.
I would say in many ways it looks just as good as Last of Us, but it looks different because it's stylized. It's arty, but... looked gorgeous. Again, the details, facial animation.
Didn't look as good as Last of Us. Not as good, but then again... No one looks as good as Naughty Dog.
On that. But again, the mud and stuff and just the mud shaders and things on him was awesome.
Riding along the horse, the flick back.
The combat again was in the same way. It looked so good.
Looks so
proper
good.
Sword play. The way he flicked the blood off the sword.
It kind of looks like it would control like. Kind of looks like it could control kind of similar to For Honor.
Similar, yes.
Here's the thing. Obviously, because there was no button prompts or anything like that. We have no idea if it's going to be similar to For Honor, where you have to choose where you want to put your sword and then you block, or if it's literally just going to be an Arkham
style, yeah.
You hit counter and.
But in the same way that the melee combat in Last of Us, where it looked physical, again, it looked physical. There was none of that just slashing at each other.
When the combat first started, he rides into the area. The enemies are attacking this civilian by the looks of it. He walks over and then just does the quick whoosh.
Yeah, so cool.
And then he just falls over.
Again, a visible slice
through the armor. Like what you said yesterday, I was kind of expecting
I was hoping to have the
off.
body slide thing.
But then, is that like a perfectly timed? I think that would be like a perfectly timed move, because then the other enemies didn't die in one hit.
Because there was a point when they're fighting inside the place as well, where he does another thing similar to someone. He does a perfectly timed parry sort of looking thing where he does a quick execution type.
Obviously, it's Infamous, so there's world like traversal climbing parkour style thing. You climb onto the roof and go very Batman.
Yep.
just significantly more violent.
To me, this looks like they have gone, what games do things beautifully and awesomely?
And they've chosen everything, and they've taken all the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, it could be an empty as piss open world.
It could be, but
we don't know.
I feel like it won't be.
I think it's going to be an open world bigger than their last game, but not massive.
For some reason, I've got a funny feeling there is someone or a team of people that work at Sony that look at all these games, and unless it ticks a certain amount of boxes of what they want from their quality, it just gets scrapped
and never mentioned.
Yeah.
I think it has to go through such a rigorous process before it even gets announced. Because they might greenlight a lot more than we know about.
But man,
and then they just think this isn't up to scratch, do something else. Which, if that's the case, this could be attempt number 3 from Sucker Punch, so it could be years away. But
this comes back to what we said in like our first episode. Can Sony keep up this first-party quality?
From what we saw yesterday,
hell, yeah, yes. They can. And they're just upping the ante every damn time.
From what they saw yesterday. So, I don't... This is going to make me sound like I don't like anything good.
Well, you don't.
Yes, I fucking do. Get out. I want to talk about you some more. It's not about a quality thing or not liking it per se, but because I missed it growing up completely. I've never liked Metal Gear Solid.
I didn't play them, so I have no...
I didn't play them when I was younger. I never played the early ones. So when I jumped in a couple of times, I know it makes sense to no one, but I felt I didn't have any nostalgia to it, so its issues and its weird gameplay mechanics, I was just like, I ain't having none of this. And then so I just never really got into it. So therefore I didn't really understand this obsession with Hideo Kojima, la-di-da-di-da. And then all the Death Stranding trailers, I felt like this is just being weird for the sake of being weird.
Which, to be honest, even this gameplay reveal was also weird for the sake of being
100%.
weird.
But seeing the game, I'm interested.
It still looked incredible.
It was visually bonkers.
I still have no idea what the game is.
No idea what the game is. It looks like a walking simulator.
It looks terrifying.
It looks tense as all balls. Like, I was kind of just like, okay, if the only gameplay you show is walking, can you just go away?
Like, so they did show a lot of walking.
Yeah, but then they showed like the stealth mechanics with the machine telling you where these things are, and it looks like the light on the thing shows them as well. Like if that is a particular like UV light or whatever, and you can see them, what have you? Because we were all like, I ain't about fighting invisible enemies.
No, it's not that noise.
It looks like you don't fight at all.
No.
I'm pretty sure this is very much a psychological horror game type thing. Which, if done right, I will actually play it. I don't like playing horror games.
That right, though, is Hideo Kojima.
100%. Like, I thought PT was very impressive.
I actually never played that because I
didn't play it. Oh fuck! Come to me. I didn't play it because I'm a pussy.
Yeah,
and I don't like playing horror games. But this looks.
My God, did I have to pump myself up before I played Resi 7? Because my God.
And Resi 7 has what I like to call obnoxious blocking, because in games obviously there is something trying to stop you doing what you need to do.
Yep.
But in games with what I coin obnoxious blocking, it's something really simple that you need to do. There's just this one fucking thing that keeps getting in your way. It's not something you can defeat, stop, get out of your way. Like Dark Souls, obviously, if you want to progress, if you want to get to the next area, usually you need to beat that boss. That's on you that you can't beat that boss. But especially in the house and the with the mum's like cabin type of thing, when you're just trying to go and put like a fucking scorpion on a door or use the scorpion key or whatever, and then you walk around a corner, oh fuck, he's there again, and that's the only way through. Despise it, hate it, absolutely hate it in games. It really bothers me. I understand that's a very horror thing, and horror games aren't just my thing, but my point is, Death Stranding doesn't look like that. No. It's this huge, it looks like this huge, open, outside, gorgeous world, and these things are just in it, and you can take multiple different approaches. You just got to get through this section of people, of enemies.
Things.
Yeah, you've just got to avoid this section of enemies. It's more stealth than just trying to avoid someone walking around in circles and what have you. if that makes sense. So I'm very intrigued by Death Stranding. Never thought I would be. It was always that game where as soon as they said the name, I was like, that doesn't even make sense. And I was just, all these things, why is Norman Reedus pregnant? Where's the baby gone? Why is Mads Mikkelsen umbilical cord to these men? Why is Guillermo del Toro, not even a person who acts, carrying a baby around that's just appeared? It wasn't in his tube, it was in the other one. It was with Reedus. What's going on? Why? We still obviously know nothing.
We
Why
will
babies?
not know nothing until the game is out.
Anything.
Nothing's going to get cleared up until we play the game. And even then, I feel like we'll still be going, what?
Oh, I agree. I don't think we're going to know shit ever.
No.
Ever, 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 which upsets me because I like a good story.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable not knowing something.
So, just like you don't know what I was talking about.
I'll find out soon. Yeah, I'm very tense. What do you want to do about Spider-Man, Jack? You and I both did not want to see more Spider-Man. We didn't want to see more enemies. We wanted a surprise for us.
So yeah, I didn't want to see more villains. I wasn't that bothered about seeing more Spider-Man.
Is it safe to say, though, that gameplay trailer most certainly tickled your pickle? Wherever it was that your thing is going to be.
My pickle has most certainly been tickled, was what I said.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. It was awesome.
So good.
It was awesome. The one thing that kind of brought me back down was when we watched the live gameplay.
Yep.
Did not look as good.
No, it didn't.
There were a couple of bits where obviously he was fighting someone, he kicked them, did an air combo thing, but when he jumped up he was right next to the wall, so it was kind of just stuck and wasn't moving around. He was just up against the wall. There was bits flinging around where he kind of, you can't, because of where the positioning of the buildings are, you can't quite land what you got to do. So you got to do this weird, like, go all over the place to land where you want to land. There's a couple of bits where he kind of landed halfway up a ledge, and just the combat looked a little bit weirder.
But this could just be a case of still not finished. It's going to be close to finished, but still not finished. A few bits fine-tuning.
Agreed, 100%. And that obviously was very scripted gameplay.
A lot of these things, the game is only as good as you are at playing it a lot of these times, so...
Yeah, 100%. He could have just been shit. But it kind of looks like, obviously, these things can happen and can happen quite easily, type thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm still playing the fuck out of this game.
Incredible.
It brought me down from the hype of that trailer, sure, but it didn't bring me down on how excited I am for this game and how good I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be amazing, and that suit is growing on me every time I see it.
Yeah.
Like, I hated it when they announced it. I said, what the fuck is this white spider glove thing? But now I'm just like, ooh. That's like my second favourite Spider-Man suit, if not my favourite.
So they showed off a lot of villains. Do you reckon they're going for an Arkham style? There's lots of villains for you to find?
Yeah. But nothing new. That's every Spider-Man game ever.
And what about the surprise at the end? Who is it? Who did he see?
So you can't quite tell if he's seen an ally or a villain.
Or a villain.
Because Mr. Negative seems to be in charge, but then not.
I feel like it's an ally, and they're implying that it will have similar stuff to Arkham Knight. We had a few allies in Arkham Knight that you could do stuff with.
Yeah, if it's an ally, I don't know. I don't want it to be any of the Avengers. Quite frankly, as much as...
Imagine that it is all part of this new Marvel gaming universe.
I don't want that to be a thing.
It's an Avenger. But it'd be amazing, Jack!
No, I don't want that to be a thing.
But it might be a thing.
I want them to have the ability to, in Avengers, Spider-Man can be a character, playable or whatnot, but it doesn't have to be tied to what that Spider-Man is doing. It doesn't have to be tied to that world. I want it to be a Marvel world, a Marvel New York, where you get the Avengers Tower and you get Sanctum Sanctorum and the Baxter Building and stuff like that, and the Raft, obviously, which is where the new gameplay demo was set. But I don't want them to be linked at all. Sure, you can have...
What if they did it in the same way they've done the movies, and it's a big, expanded universe? No, because then if there's... when Spider-Man does well and when Spider-Man 2, the game, comes out, because let's be honest, it's not an if. No, yeah, of course not.
I don't want it to be limited in what it can do. These movies are limited.
True.
There's, for the most part, fucking hell, say words. For the most part, they are fantastic movies, but they are limited by what the other movies have done.
Correct. And they do occasionally fall into a couple of mistakes because of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
nothing major. They haven't had any major plot hole mistakes, but
even weird ones they've fixed it.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to be tied down by anything. I don't want these versions of characters to be those versions of characters. I want them to be able to say, "Oh, we want a really young Spider-Man as part of the Avengers games." I want an old man Logan. I want full-fledged Wolverine and what have you. Speaking of, one of the Marvel games that I want is a proper narrative, gorgeous Wolverine story-based game. Proper R-rated as well.
There are many things that I want, and I imagine a lot of these things will come in
This
time.
is also, another reason why I want them to be separate.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Like, they can do all these weird and wonderful different genres. Like, a lot of the time, what if... Well, because one of the rumours as well is that it's going to be called Avengers Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be like the Ultimate Alliance games, but with, like, Tomb Raider Uncharted style action gameplay. Also that it's going to be Captain America, Iron Man, and Scarlet Witch as like the three main.
Well, in that trailer they showed, they had.
But they also had Thor.
Yeah.
And the Hulk.
They had. It sounded like someone doing an impression of Scarlett Johansson doing the voiceover as well.
That's Black Widow.
Yeah.
Not Scarlet Witch. So I think it's going to be the main 6.
Yeah.
But then there's also the rumor that Eidos Montreal. They're also working on Avengers, like, partially.
Yep.
But there's also the rumour they're making Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
I really want, as I just said, like, someone to make...
Which is why I feel it might be a bit more of an expanded universe, because...
I just think they're just picking... At the moment, they're just picking the popular.
True.
And there's Marvel games, they don't need to worry about any of this movie licensing stuff. Wolverine and all the other X-Men can cross over with the Avengers and what have you. But yeah, I want there to be like crossover, but not between the games, so to speak. Or if they do want to connect them, so very loosely. Not an integral storyline or anything like that. It's just that Iron Man can show up in Spider-Man. But if New York gets utterly destroyed in the Avengers game, New York's still there in Spider-Man type thing. Like, I don't want them to affect each other, but the crossover, obviously, yeah, you want your characters to show up. That's kind of part of Marvel games, isn't it?
Should we go over our predictions?
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Jack, Devil May Cry 5 revealed with January 2019 release date.
My heart was in the right place with that prediction because of Resident Evil. Fucking Capcom.
No points.
No points.
Dom said Jack and Daxter would be on stage.
Absolutely
Neil
not.
Poir. I said that they would announce the ability to be able to change your PSN names and it'd be free. No, I reckon PSX.
Yeah.
I still think it's coming. You said Death Stranding would have a release window. Nothing.
I was tossing up between gameplay and release window. I chose the wrong.
Dom said new villains for Spider-Man will be shown with gameplay. He was
100%,
bang on. 1 point. I said Rocksteady would reveal their new game. They did not. Now I want to take a brief pause. Much in the similar vein to what we said when we were talking about Square Enix. Where the fuck is Rocksteady?
If I'm not mistaken, they did outright say they're not going to be at E3.
But where the fuck are they? Why? What are they doing? Pull the finger out. Show me your game. Jack, you said PUBG would be announced to come on PS4 in Q4 2018. No, we get to Q4 in a minute as well. Dom said Days Gone would get a release window. It did indeed get a release date, but well before E3, so no. Points for Dom. I said Last of Us 2 will have a 2019 release window. No. Jack said we'll get Ghost of Tsushima gameplay of a 2019 release window. Half a point. Dom said The Last of Us 2 would have no release window. Bang on, a point. And my bold one, which unfortunately did not come true, that Red Dead Redemption 2 would close the show.
Told you.
No points. Which means for Sony, I got no points, which I'm devastated by. Jack got 0.5 and Dom got 2 points. So the final scores of our OMG E3 2018 prediction game has gone missing. In last place was myself with 6.7 points. The winner, though, with 9 points out of a possible 30, was Dom. With 9 points. So well done, Dom. Pizza on us if we ever see you again.
Hopefully we don't, because I'm quite poor.
Yep. And Jack, you got 7.5 points with your ending, so respectable. Hopefully we'll do better.
All in all, our predictions, I think, were pretty solid. It's just all the conferences.
Here's the thing.
They went really skew with.
We predicted an incredible E3.
Yeah.
Whereas what we should have done was predict some balls. It's our own fault for not realising.
For being too sensible and
optimistic.
Too good at other people's jobs.
Yep. We'll see. The next big showing is going to be, you got Gamescom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll see much excitement there.
Nope.
And PSX, I do think we'll see some more cool things at PSX from Sony.
Yeah, probably a deeper look into
hopefully
Ghosts.
A more traditional conference at PSX this year as well. Because
they didn't have one last year. No,
and they haven't had a traditional E3 conference, I'd argue. So I'm hoping we'll see a traditional conference because we now haven't seen one in a while. I feel like we'll get something. E3 was poor overall, I'd say. Quite disappointing. It's a real shame. There was some really cool highlights, which is the only saving grace. But yeah, poor year. Real shame.
It was pretty shit.
First year I put some proper effort into doing anything for E3 and it was a bit pants. So, oh well, such is life.
We'll retire now.
Yeah. Q4 this year. What in the fuck is going on in October?
This extends from the fact that I was saying that it was just all the conferences and all the developers that have just gone mad, and our predictions were actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
They have all gone mad and just decided to release everything at the same fucking time.
It is crazy.
So, just big games we've got in October, starting with Forza Horizon. Mm-hmm. And obviously ending with Red Dead Redemption, with Call of Duty, with Battlefield, and something else in the middle. Assassin's Creed. That's 5 big AAA main developer titles coming out in that month. And then obviously after that, in November on the 14th, we have...
another game.
I've forgotten. I remember the release date, but not the game.
Oh my... What's coming out in November?
November 14th. We'll come back to that. And then starting off with Smash Bros. Spyro. Obviously, these aren't all big, but Smash Bros. Spyro, Spider-Man, and Tomb Raider.
76.
Oh, of course. Sorry, yeah. Fallout in November. A game that big. I think Fallout is the most sensible by taking a few weeks out, but it's still too close. A game like Red Dead, obviously coming out at the end of October, is going to have a long tail. Call of Duty is going to have a long tail. Battlefield, a long tail. I think...
Assassin's Creed as well. Actually, no, maybe not.
I don't think Assassin's Creed is going to have a long tail. It's going to be played by people like us. We'll get through it.
Yep. I don't think I'm going to get it at launch myself.
See... Me and a mate of mine last year, we did this thing where we bought half the games each and then just swapped around, saving us significant amounts of money. If that's the case...
No, that's cool. I like you did that. Here's my problem. I like buying the big special editions with the statue because I have a problem.
Oh, I couldn't give a toss about collectibles.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I have a problem and I'm a sucker for things. So whenever I'm presented with a thing, I end up wanting the thing. It doesn't matter what the thing is. If it's a thing, I normally want it. I remember... a couple of months ago at work, we got sent in delivery a pre-owned Uncharted 4 Special Edition PS4, the original model. It was a C grade, but it's somehow banging condition, and I contemplated buying it for about half hour for no other reason than to put it on my shelf. I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
I have a problem.
I don't have
things.
that problem.
I did it with the God of War trophy. Like, literally, the way this got presented to me was I got into work and Matt went, Christian, as soon as I got in, Matt, my deputy, Christian was like, yes. He was like, you see how I know you have a PS4 Pro and a 4K TV? I was like, yeah. He's like, but you see how I also know you're a sucker for things? I was like, yes. And he just showed me it. I was like, oh, I I don't want this. And I do every time. Every time. I bought God of War Collector's Edition, the Assassin's Creed Collector's Editions. As soon as I announced the damn Collector's Edition for Spider-Man, I was like pre-ordering that thing. The only one I'm not getting is Red Dead because it's the worst thing Collector's Edition I've ever seen. But I'll get me one of the other big Jeffers because I have a problem. And if Assassin's Creed do a sweet ass special edition, I'll probably get it. And when Last of Us do a special edition, I'll get it because of that's me.
So yeah, I don't give a toss about statues and stuff. Like,
which is fine. You don't have to.
I don't have the space, and also they are.
No one has the space. I don't have the space. I don't have the space at all. Not in the slightest.
Also,
it is a constant struggle, me trying to figure out. I've now completely run out of space, and I am regularly sat during loading screens of games, looking around the room going, what the fuck am I going to do? I need to find space for statues. And I'm considering having to, like, move my girlfriend into a different room elsewhere so I can have space for my things.
Fiance, mate.
Well, probably not after I've moved her into another room.
Yeah, so I don't care about that. I also think for their quality, they are about £100 more expensive than they have any right to be.
A lot of them, yes, I completely agree. I think the God of War one was pretty damn good and good value for money.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong, a lot of them look cool.
I thought the value for money in God of War was pretty good.
I don't know how much it was.
120 quid.
£70 for the statue, it's not too bad.
Yeah. And you get more than just a statue in there. You also really nice shit in there.
But things like the Destiny one being like over 200 quid, oh, fuck off. Like, I'm being vibrated. Yeah, so we just do that. Like, and so we get 2 games for 50 quid instead of...
Yeah, no, it's fair.
So it's a decent shout, and I do that rental thing now as well, so I can do some of those. So we could save a lot of money. It's just time.
Yeah. What games are you planning on buying this year?
I'll get Fallout. I'm going to get Fallout. Spider-Man.
Yep.
Battlefield.
Okay.
Cards up in the air.
Mm-hmm. I am only 2 games which I know I'm going to definitely get, which is Spider-Man and Red Dead. Everything else I will potentially pick up later. Spider-Man looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
There's
no way I'm missing Spider-Man
in my life. I can't think of the word. Let's say with concerns. Not the word I want. But we'll go with concerns about Red Dead. I respect and understand. I've been waiting for this game for a very long time now.
I wouldn't quite call it concerns.
No, that's not the word I want, and I can't think of the word.
Trepidations.
We'll go with trepidations. That's nice. But for me, I've been waiting for that game for a long time, and I loved the first Red Dead. And do you know what? Who knows? I may be disappointed, but I don't care. I'm getting that game.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And if it is the way I think it's going to be, I will spend many hours plowing away in that open world.
That's the thing. If it is the way I think it's going to be,
yeah, well, that's fine.
Because I think it's just going to be GTA 5 with a cowboy skin and a better story than GTA 5.
Be, yeah, but I mean, we'll see.
I won't touch Red Dead Online. Ever.
I imagine what I'll do is I will jump in with a couple of friends to see what it's all about, and then I'll be like, cool, that was boring. Next. I know I do want Assassin's Creed, though. I want to play Assassin's Creed, but I guess...
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of, for me, I'm getting Spider-Man, I'm getting Fallout, and I'm getting Battlefield.
Fallout I don't care for because I've never been into Fallout games, but
That's
I do kind of want to try it. So if I can get it at a decent price, I might have a look. But I tried a Fallout 4 and I just couldn't.
And then if I end up doing this sharing games thing, I'll get Creed because we both enjoyed Origins and maybe Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider I'll get probably, but I won't get to. I don't think I'll
probably
get
going to get Tomb Raider late.
The thing is,
the grand scheme of things, though, I've got very late because obviously then it goes into like Days Gone and stuff.
I feel like what's going to happen is I'll get Spider-Man beginning of September, and that will tie me for September.
Mm-hmm.
In that time, then there'll be other bits and bobs coming out to play as well as Destiny, and I think I'll kind of pick up the Destiny expansion, probably play that, which will tie me into Red Dead quite happily, and then Red Dead will tie me for a little while. I don't get much time after sort of November onwards to play games because of work goes mad.
Yeah.
So normally I will then, those other extra games I'll then to get normally around Christmas or for Christmas, which will then keep me going until, as you say, Days Gone. So, but
it's too much.
It's too much, and I want to try and find a time for them, but it's just too much at Q4, and it's going to be mad for retail.
We're going to need, not need, but I kind of want to play a lot of these games, so at least we know what we're talking about. We can have an opinion on them. But
Sony, send us some games. Send us to E3 now.
I'm off. Now?
I'm off.
I'm not.
I'll get myself there and play myself.
Fly me out?
Yeah, why not? We'll go over there. We'll play some Spider-Man and some Last of Us and all these things.
It would be absolutely fantastic if we got to a point where we could get promo copies and do official reviews. And
next year, you can request them.
I have no idea how.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I know you can request them. You can request press copies and review copies of things. You just have to prove that you do actually do the content and not just
say it.
Yeah.
Should we give it a go?
So we'll figure that out.
Give it a go for Spider-Man.
Why not? I'll see if I'll try and contact them. Did you ever do a review for Detroit? We're the worst of men.
We are the worst of men. Did you say I am or we are?
You.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But by the time it was actually said I should do it.
This is why you need these damn promo copies.
Well, yeah. By the time I had the time to finish it, it was ages after the game had come out, but a couple of weeks, which in review time is long. But also, by the time it was actually officially told to me that that's what I was doing, it had been even longer.
Yeah, right.
But
good point.
I kind of just mentioned it as a thing, but everyone was yeah, that's a good idea. We'll figure it out. Nothing for 3 weeks, and then I was like, "Did you ever write a review?" I was like, "You never fucking told me to." I offered, and no one said shit.
Sorry, that's my bad. We'll work on this going forward.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Jack? Be free.
February 22nd.
Well, yeah. What is that about? Everything else is out on February 22nd.
So what is it? Days Gone,
Anthem, and Metro Exodus. Metro Exodus has been sent out to die. I can't.
I
don't think Days Gone and Anthem sharing that day is a big deal because everyone who's going to buy Days Gone will still buy it, and everyone who's going to buy Anthem will still buy Anthem. I don't think there's much overlap there. However, I think what's more
there's mild overlap between Days Gone and Metro though. Kind of similar post-apocalyptic.
There is, but that's where Metro's going to go and die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But between Anthem and Days Gone, I don't think there's much overlap, especially with his audience. However, I think anyway, I don't think Anthem will hit that date.
No, Anthem will be delayed.
Sony, it's so weird how everyone February 22nd, really bizarre.
So, yeah, what is it about that day that we don't know
Very
about?
bizarre.
Do some laws change on the 23rd?
Is it a certain? Because I know they try and release at certain periods. February 22nd. February 22nd. It's a Friday. It's the last Friday of February.
I might just Google February 22nd, 2019, see what's going on.
That's fine. I'm going to do a little bit of research here. Hang on.
Talk amongst yourselves, people.
Because as you say, what's going on, they know that we don't know about. What's going on?
Yeah, I Google the date, and the only thing that comes.
I'm gonna put forward a couple of things here. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put forward a couple of things here. Give me a second. Let me just get my info correct. Let me get my info.
So correct. Googling it, all that comes up is basically weird websites that I've never seen before that just tell you how many days it is until that date, and also the news articles of those games being announced.
Back to something we spoke about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation 4 was revealed
in February.
The Xbox One was revealed at the beginning of May.
I think that's a terrible time to do it then. If the terrible time to have all these games come out.
But if they are planning on revealing new consoles first part of next year, March, getting the games out before the reveals. Maybe. Just another idea. Unlikely.
I don't see how that makes sense.
But could that be the thing we don't know about? Who knows?
It could very well be. But Xbox are doing it as well.
Doing what?
Oh, yeah. Xbox have said crackdowns in February and all these things. So I never and both of them being at the same time again is quite unlikely. It's really unlikely. And why February? And why release? Why shove all these games out before the consoles are announced?
Time will only tell. Time will only tell.
Surely you don't just want to shove out games for the announcement of a console they don't play on. And also, surely then it would be you would announce the console and then do announcements of games to encourage pre-orders and stuff like that. It just, to me, the logic behind we're announcing a console, let's get all these games for a different console out, just doesn't make any sense.
I guess the only sense there would be is if it's and this is an if. We can keep arguing about whether or not it will happen all day long.
Yeah, if theoretical.
If the console's announced and released next year, they won't.
No.
If they did, it's about not, unless these games we've seen over E3 come to PS5, like
they all have PS4 at the end. All have PS4 at the end
as well.
Oh, I see.
Last of Us, whatever.
That never does well.
Never does well. But unless these are then
Sony are smart than that.
Getting to stop, because if they are coming out, it's if we announce the console before this game releases, people won't be buying this game because they're going to get PS4. Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
Sony are smart than that. These games are PS4 games, and
Sony are much smarter than that.
Even Death Stranding had PS4 at the end.
Do you know who
I'm pretty sure that's
the
first time.
It is. So who isn't smarter than that?
Microsoft.
And me.
They're idiots.
This has been a longer episode of One More Podcast.
How long has it been?
Almost 2 hours.
Oh, fuck it.
This is quite a while. One More Podcast. This is us. That's what we are. You throw me off with my talking. Wow,
sorry.
That's messed me up.
Sorry.
You can join the conversation on Discord at One More Go Gaming, on Twitter at One More Go Gaming, on Instagram at One More Go Gaming, or right here on YouTube where you can hit that subscribe button and see us anytime that you wish.
Indeed.
All the links for such will be in the description below. Do join in. Tell us what you think, what you loved, what you hated, what you didn't, whatever. E3 this year. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about all these things and enjoy these theories. Jack, next week.
Taking a break.
We are taking a break. We have done 6 episodes over 6 weeks and a lot of content this week, E3. So we're going to take a short break and have a little downtime.
Because big things are coming.
And we're going to work on some new things for you. And we'll have some news and some announcements coming in the next few weeks. One of them will be that I'm going to improve the framing of these camera shots, because looking at this here on the viewfinder, it's quite poor. I just want to say a little thank you to yourself for joining me so far on this little venture. It's been good fun. It's
been great. We've created something.
We've created a little baby.
We've had a baby together.
Yes.
Take my hand.
And a bit clammy, Jack. Sorry, just have to.
It's 900 degrees C in here.
All right, I'm sorry.
Be grateful I ain't puddling.
This has been good.
It's been good. I've been enjoying what we're doing here.
And many of you that have been watching, we've been getting a fairly consistent view base, and that's
other than when we talk shit about Battlefield. But
yeah, but
let's talk about that.
But we appreciate that. That's really, really awesome, and that's gonna sort of fueling new ideas for us.
We have many ideas.
Many.
More on that to come in the coming, I would say weeks, but I don't think it's going to be weeks.
Weekish.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Over the next 2 weeks?
That's weeks. There's weeks. There's plural.
I'll give you that. Okay, fair enough. I hear the word weeks and I think like just under a month. Maybe. Who knows why I have a weird brain. Next week we're taking a break to work on the ideas. The week after that we'll
take a break to work on the ideas, and also just to cool off a little bit, because this has been a hectic week, at least for me.
And also, to be honest, in general, I'm just mad at E3, so I want to cool off for a little while, because otherwise I'm going to come back in and say things I shouldn't.
Yes, I also feel like our show so far is very topical and very news based, and I don't think there's going to be much going on in the next week anyway. So
that's true. I mean, we could bring back our biscuit podcast, but
one day I feel like there'll be some. So what other biscuits are you going to be angry about if I don't like them, Jack? What is it?
No, I'm done.
All right. Okay.
Everything else, I can take or leave. Take
a leaf?
Take or leave.
Okay.
Take it or leave it.
Why would you leave biscuits at any point if you're... It's been a long week here at One More Go Gaming. Thank you again for joining our little video. Jack, is there anything else you want to say?
It's been fun.
Are you going to tell me what was in that little gap?
No, you're going to have to find it. You're going to have to find it. I don't think I think like maybe 2 people will find it funny.
Okay.
I'm one of them. You might be the other. You might be the other. I just made it a weird thing.
Until next time, we shall see you then.
Toodly-doo. Fucking hell. My shirt's like ridden up my back. It's very uncomfortable. Oh my god. What's going on? Oh my god, I get comfortable. we just put that at the end?
Yeah.